What's up guys, BrunsNick's back, and do layouts matter? Of course they matter. This isn't gonna be that kind of video. What we're gonna find out in this video is what happens when I drill a ball completely wrong. What do I mean by wrong? Is I'm gonna use the mass bias as my pin and my pin as my mass bias. I did the layout the exact same, 60 by 5 by 20, but I flipped it around. I based it off of the mass bias. So we're gonna see how this rolls. We're gonna have SPECTO running. I have my original effect here, which I love so much, so we'll be able to have a baseline. Before we see how this ball actually rolls, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Now let's see what the upside down effect does on the lanes. All right, this is gonna be a very fun video. I think it's gonna be fun. I like testing this kind of stuff out. I'm happy that I get to be in a position to do such things. But with all this layout jargon going on, I wanted to see, hey, if layouts don't matter, what would happen if I flip-flop the pin and the mass bias? That's what we're gonna do. I have my baseline effect, my normal layout, so I'm gonna test it out to get a baseline to show you the track flare. I'm gonna show you how it rolls. We're gonna get some numbers, and we're gonna go back and forth a little bit. So let's throw a couple shots. Let's get right into it. It's 2024 April now. Is this ball still the best ever? It's up there pretty high. Look at that. I mean, with hits like that, there's a reason why this ball's been on back order and so sought after in pro shops, leagues, all that stuff. This ball just freaking works. So, first shot. Bam. All right, so we can kind of see, hopefully we can see the track flare on this one. Very similar to what I'm seeing normally. A lot of separation between them. So that's gonna be the big thing. The big question that we answer today is by putting the pin in a weird spot, putting the mass bias in a weird spot, what is it gonna do to the ball? Is it gonna make me track full roller? Is it gonna make me thump all over the finger holes? A lot of questions, we're gonna answer them here soon. Let's throw another shot. Right in the same zone here. See if we can't get this one dead flush. That could be dead flush. Yeah. Yeah, we got some crispy, fresh racks going today. Had an adjustment, no more bad racks. Hopefully, no more 8 pins. I'm done with 8 pins, retiring them forever. All right, it's time to throw it. It's time to throw the other ball. The specs are the same. Only thing we did different, I mean, there it is. Mass bias up there, pin where I normally put the mass bias. What's it gonna do? We're about to find out. Is it gonna thump? Is it gonna hook? No idea. Let's do the same shot. No clue what this ball is gonna do. None. Never drilled a ball like this ever in my life. And I'll probably never drill another ball like it in my life. Thump, thump, thump. Yeah, you heard it. Thump, 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 thump. Did it flare off of it? It sounded like it, but for the first, I don't know, 30 feet of the lane, thump, 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 thump. Let's see what this track's doing. Yeah? So by putting the pin in that location, it brought my track a lot closer. So instead of being outside of the fingers and thumb, I'm now starting left of it. It's hitting it and then flaring off of it. I threw it the same. The results were not the same. And we're also gonna look at SPECTO data along the way and see exactly what kind of numbers we're getting. I would imagine on a ball like this with the layout, what it's doing is entry angle is gonna go really, really low because it's gonna miss the break point more often than not. Let's clean this ball up, this thumperama. Let's throw it again. I'm gonna try to keep throwing it the same. I'm not gonna try to do anything different or modify release because the core is gonna do what it's gonna do. It's pulling the track where it wants. That's so funny. It's like it tracks full roller and then it thumps and then it hits some friction on the outside. So I guess this could be a really good dry lane ball. for the absolute burn, when you need a little bit more length, because when it's thumping, it might be getting off the lane a little bit. And if the ball's in the air, can't hook. So yeah, that's 2 shots with it. And sure enough, yeah, it's tracking full roller and then starting to flare over the thumb. And at the very end, it's starting to catch a few oil rings towards the outside. So it looks like it's bow tying right in this zone right here. Normally my bow tie is more up in this area here so it doesn't hit the fingers or thumb. It might catch a thumb on the way back, but if that's a ball that flares a lot, that's the only time I'll ever hear that. But for right now, if I try to spin it a little bit more, I don't know. I don't think there's any way I'm going to be able to get this track off of the fingers and thumb to start, because that's just what it's going to do. It just doesn't have that continuation. I'm going to go back to the normal drilled ball, the ball that's really good, and the ball that's drilled with the pin and not the mass bias as the pin. But it's not really a true full roller layout, okay? Because it's still flaring outward. If you're a true full roller, your first flare ring is going to be here, and then it's going to flare this way to stay off the fingers and thumb. That's not the case with me. I'm not a full roller. All right, here's a couple of shots with the effect pin up. Wrap 10. Kind of missed that thumping sound, I got to be honest there. If I know where the ball's migrating to if it gets off that thumb. I know when it's hitting the true friction of the ball. Night and day difference, if we can kind of see where that's at. I'm going to throw another shot here, and then we're going to start moving it in and really see the difference once we get over some oil. So right now we're playing relatively straight. We're not trying to swing it very far. Just my typical shot, really. Yeah. So we got a good baseline of what it does from straighter angles. We now know how this weird ball is going to track. So the next thing we got to do, start moving it in. So we'll start with 5 boards and we'll work it in. So we'll throw normal first, and we'll go to the other one next. So this is 5 left, and we'll see. Yeah. All right, so that's what we see with my normal effect. So now we're going to switch it over. We're going to throw it in the same spot. We're going to throw that weird one and see if by thumping over the thumb with that weird layout, it's going to cause more length or just cause it to miss the spot. We'll take a look at SPECTO and we'll see if I missed or if I threw it good. All right. Same spot. Might have been a little outside. I'm gonna check the numbers. Let's see what we got. Yeah, just what I thought. A little outside the mark. Started in the same spot, but I flat out got it a little bit outside. The ball got back, hit pretty flat. Let's try it again. Come on, get this ball in a little bit more. Oh. Didn't matter. That was pretty spot on. I mean, when a ball is thumping halfway down the lane, it's not creating the friction and grab, it's not flaring, obviously it rolls pretty bad. So let's throw another shot. We're gonna move 5 left though, and we're gonna see. 5 more. I think this is going to be even more pronounced here. Hey, I don't know. I didn't hear as much thumping that time. This could be a winner, but I mean, I'm going to switch to the other ball. We're going to have the normal layout. We're going to see the difference. I think it's going to be night and day. especially when you start opening up angles. A ball like that, I just don't think how it could compete. There's no way. All right, let's try to throw the same shot. See the difference. Hopefully it's night and day. It should be night and day. That last one was pretty good. Obviously it didn't continue as great, but it struck. Okay. So that was a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. Now the difference there, obviously, impact angle. How much that ball is still hooking at the end, and the ball with the weird layout kind of lacks a little bit. They both struck. So what argument do I really have, right? What, the ball struck, what's the matter with it? I don't know, I guess we'll just keep moving in, we'll find out if there is an issue. Otherwise, people are gonna be asking for the thumping layout, which I invented. Phil didn't invent that. Thumper layout, that's what I'm gonna call. 5 left. Oh man, that was with the good layout. I don't know how the other one's gonna perform compared to that. That was probably the best shot I've ever thrown. But in the interest of science, we're gonna have to try. You gotta wipe it in a different area too, since it tracks all funky. All right, weird layout time, same spot. Is it gonna get it done or not? Is it gonna be able to get back from this angle? I don't know. That thing went down the lane a little longer. Like I said, still struck. Big difference though, right? We're gonna look at the numbers. So we're seeing the difference. Now in the video where they said layouts don't matter, they said the ball is exactly the same for like the first 40, 45 feet of lane, and then it starts to separate. Well, that's the whole point. Bowling balls can't really hook in oil. So even with a drastic layout like this, he's correct. For the first 40 or so feet, the ball's not really gonna be much difference, but what it does at the very last part of the lane and through the pins is all the difference in the world. So that's where layouts matter, and that's where the difference between a ball going high flush, splitting the 8-9, and leaving a 10 pin or leaving a flat hit. That's where layouts come into play. There is a big difference with impact angle and continuation, pin deck, exit board, all that good stuff. Let's throw one more shot with each. I'm gonna move 5 more, and we're really gonna open up these lanes. I got the weird one first, and we're gonna see. I'm just gonna try to hit the pocket. All right. Definitely had to throw it softer. I wasn't sure if that was gonna hook back, kind of labor. Finally got enough. Obviously rolled pretty forward, kicked the 10 out, which is kind of cool. So let's switch it over. Switch it over to the normal. And we're gonna see. Do we kick out a 10? Do we hit it in the same spot? Do I go dead flush? We're about to find out. All right, I think we've proved what we want to prove. We wanted to see what we wanted to see. So that's all for do layouts matter? Yeah, of course they matter. Using the mass bias as the pin and the pin as a mass bias, terrible idea. I don't recommend it. What I do recommend is checking out all the brand new merch on Inside Bowling. If you learned anything from this video, please subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Talk to you guys soon.